Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and today I've got some big news for you about a company that we actually covered in the past. Around a month or two ago, I believe, my dad made a video about VGAC, which is Richard Branson's acquisition stock, which at the time did not know what company it would be merging with. And currently, it doesn't know exactly what company it's going to be merging with, but there's rumors going around that Virgin Orbit could be its target. Once again, this hasn't been confirmed by Branson himself, but it's surely been suggested by Branson. On CNBC this morning, he was talking about this company because they've just recently had a launch, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, but he did say that he was looking to potentially take this company public. He didn't specify exactly how he would do that, but he said that he was considering the SPAC route, and the fact that he has his own SPAC, VGAC, has a lot of investors thinking that this was an ironic thing to mention, and that it could be Branson hinting to us that he's planning on taking Virgin Orbit public through his very own SPAC. Although I'm sure this isn't what a lot of people had in mind when they're investing in his SPAC, they probably didn't expect him to buy his own company, but it's surely a good target, and it's in a great industry that we'll get to in just a little bit. Another reason that people love the fact that the target could be Virgin Orbit is the fact that ARK Invest is showing interest into these space exploration stocks. They've just barely started a new ETF that will trade as ARKX, and they've added a previous merger of Branson's, Virgin Galactic, into that ETF. And so if this merger does go through and Virgin Orbit does happen to be the target of VGAC, then it would likely also be added to that ETF, which would be a huge catalyst. Now, what exactly does Virgin Orbit do though? Virgin Orbit provides a way for satellites to get launched into space using a cheap and easy method. They want to allow access to everyone into space to eventually create a whole nother community up there. They currently have a whole bunch of customers, but some of these would be NASA, which says that they plan to use the Launcher 1 on a repeated basis, which is a great sign. And then you have another company like Sitel, which is working on microsatellites with all-electric propulsion. Some of the plans that these companies have for space are so far beyond my imagination, and I'm super excited to see what they come up with. Then you have a company like Swarm, which is looking to do something a little bit more basic in providing accessible and low-cost internet to all across the globe. I actually just covered another stock that did that, NPA, and it's up a bunch since I did the video, so feel free to go check that out. I'll link it in the top right corner of your screen right now. Speaking about potential other partnerships, Virgin Orbit also already has launches booked by the US Space Force, the UK's Royal Air Force, Swarm Technologies, a company in Italy and Denmark. And the fact about these government contracts, you've heard me talk about it before, they likely end in the billions, not in the millions. They provide huge revenue for companies, so if they can continue to lock up these government contracts, that's going to be big for them. Another one of the big catalysts that just happened for this company and caused the stock to go even more wild is the fact that Virgin Orbit just launched their first successful prototype test flight. They launched one earlier, I believe in May of last year, and it was a failure. Luckily, the company wasn't public at the time because I'm sure the stock would have seen a huge dip. But just in the last couple of days, they launched this successful flight of Cosmic Girl out of an airport in California around 11 a.m. Everything went as planned. Obviously, it was very publicized because this is a huge step for the company, and it got a ton of people talking about it. And here is just a little few second video for anybody who might be interested in what that looked like. The space industry is truly ready for takeoff. We've seen an increase in government spending in the last couple of years under the Trump administration, and I would expect this to continue when Biden takes over in just a couple of days. We've also seen companies like Raytheon take off when it comes to spaceflight, and that's just another example of one company that's getting government contracts for things involving aerospace. Also, when it comes to the space economy as a whole, you can see we're just barely in the beginning of this exponential growth that's expected to take this economy and turn it into a $1 trillion industry. This is the time to get in on this before all of these stock prices go absolutely absurd. If I had to pick the one industry that I was going to invest in for the next 5 to 10 years, it would be the space industry. I think it's going to be the next big thing. Just like electric cars are starting to take off right now, that's exactly how I see the space industry in 5 to 10 years. Another one of the catalysts for this company specifically is the fact that the cost to launch a satellite has declined to about $60 million, down from around $200 million. And also, satellite mass production could decrease that cost from $500 million per satellite down to only $500,000 per satellite. That is a huge difference. Now, exactly how big of a company are we talking about here if it were to merge? Well, it's already gone under a couple of private investment rounds, and they value it at around $1 billion as of October 2020. This could have jumped up to $2 billion, $1.5 billion. We won't know exactly until it goes public. Another one of the reasons why this could be going public now is the fact that they've already spent over $400 billion. Although they've gone through their private investment rounds, they're gonna need a way to get permanent cash flow into the company, and selling stock publicly could be that way. If you want to look at this from the stock side of things, you can see that the stock is up huge today on these rumors, but I think this is really just the beginning. And you can see that this comes true when you look at SPCE, which is Virgin Galactic. It had a little dip in the beginning, but it spiked up to $30 multiple times. Keeping in mind, this is all during a time when Virgin Galactic hasn't actually ever produced its service. These are all speculative and they're already blowing up, so just imagine when they actually have their first flight for a public customer. If you did go on to enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like down below to show your support, and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos like this one. Also, be sure to leave any comments you might have about the company, but other than that, I'll see you in the next one.